Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday's Coffee Address. My name's Christian Smedberg.
And I'm Andy Turner.
Welcome to Wine and Culture USA. We are coming to you from Mooresville, North Carolina, as we do every week, and thank you for joining us. Andy, another week and another reason to be optimistic.
Another week, another reason to be optimistic. I was talking earlier. We said that we're kind of becoming the some good news of the wood industry.
That's right. That's right.
I love to talk about optimistic things, and that's what John
Krasinski. That's right.
Has been talking about on Some Good News, and so we're just pivoting there and making that about with the wood industry. But lots of stuff's going on. New York City opened up this week.
I know New York
Phase
City
one.
opened up, and that's exciting for them.
Yeah, they were celebrating by eating cheesecake, which is exactly what I would have done. I would have been
I would have been
at Junior's having dinner with cheesecake and coffee.
That's right, to celebrate the reopening. So, but we have news like that in our industry too. We've been talking to a lot of customer shops that are ramping back up their production to normal levels that were there before all of this happened. We're also talking to a lot of associations that say that their members are starting to ramp back up, to reopen and ramp back up. 2 weeks ago, we had Amanda Conger on from the CMA. And now that CMA, if you guys haven't watched it, it's in the video archives. You can check it out. But CMA is about smaller shops, 1 to 5 man shops. I think.
Well, 5 to 20, I think, was most of it. But the majority of those shops being a 5-man shop.
I gotcha. And and there was a lot of good information there, and a lot of optimism among that segment of our industry, that small shop segment. But today we have a special guest that represents a segment that's a little bit different.
Right.
The WCMA is a segment that is in our industry that represents a little bit of a larger shop, and we have as a special guest Amy Snell. So let's get her on the line.
Very well.
Amy, good morning. Are you there?
I'm here. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm well. Thank you, and thank you for joining us this morning.
No problem.
Welcome.
So, Amy, can you tell us a little bit about the WCMA and your role in the association?
Sure. So I'm the executive director for the association. And basically we're an association that represents dimension and component manufacturers, primarily hardwood, but also people that work with softwood or MDF, those kind of materials. Okay. Most of our members are 50 to up to 250 employees, some even a little bit larger than that. So they're a larger manufacturing facility. They're located throughout Canada, United States. We are open to members in Mexico, but we haven't had any yet. But so we're representing North American manufacturers. Okay. Most of those are in cabinetry, architectural millwork, flooring, staircases, those kinds of areas that they're providing value to, the end manufacturer, I guess.
I see. So, Amy, your association membership really seems to run the gamut of the woodworking industry. Would that be a fair statement?
Very much so. Yes, we've got a wide range of products that our members manufacture. Definitely.
All right. So what are you seeing as far as your membership and their response to the COVID-19 situation, but then also their strategy as they start to reopen and ramp up?
Sure. So we just recently conducted a survey, and I'm going to kind of refer to some notes here, but 71% of the people that participated in our survey, their manufacturing facilities were open. Obviously, they've implemented quite a few changes to encourage social distancing, sanitizing workstations, things like that. But most of them were still open at full capacity. There were about 32% that were operating at partial capacity. So they didn't necessarily have to shut down, but their business did slow significantly, I would say, starting in March and April. There was a slowdown of getting orders, things like that. Again, good news, 75% of them did not have to lay off any staff. Of the people that did have to lay off staff, 21% of those was less than 50%, which doesn't sound like much, but only 4% had to lay off more than 50% of staff. So, so they were able to be, make some changes that was able to retain their staff by, even though sales orders were slowing down, they were, working on some other projects, moving things around the plant to make things a little more efficient, working on projects that, that you don't usually have time to do, and, reevaluating their machinery and equipment and their staffing levels to make sure that once the economy did start picking up, that they were in a good position to be, raring to go.
And very forward focused, I guess you would say.
Absolutely.
So,
yes.
Amy, tell us a little bit about, we learned from the CMA discussion that we had that a lot of the owners, basically, they're owner operators. So they were back in the shop, when if they had to let go of even, half of their sales force, it would be like going from 4 people to 2 people in some cases. So they became 50% of the production. At the larger shops like this, I have to assume when they did slow down that those owners that started out as owner operators, maybe they got back into the shop. What are you hearing about that?
You're right. There was, in the survey, it was funny because several of the comments were, boy, really back on the floor a lot more. Even our even like our marketing managers, people that normally really never had been on the floor before were suddenly on the floor.
What is that?
Sometimes we're forced to.
So yes, that's one of the things that, was a change, but I think that's the reason they got into this business. They love that. And, running the business is something that they've accelerated at, they're good at. But, during this time, getting back out on that floor, I think it is something they enjoy. It's not a hardship to them. It reminds them of, what they love about the industry. So.
Very good. And so some of the other things that we were learning from some of the smaller shops was that the associations were hosting forums to just kind of help them through it. Now you're in a little different segment, probably. Some of the owners have been in business maybe a little longer, or they're a little more savvy, or they enjoy the business side of it more than maybe the smaller shops do. They tend to really just have a love for woodworking. But the forums that were offered were just from a business side, how to take advantage of some of the PPP, the Paycheck Protection Plan, the different things that were being offered as a stimulus to get through this. Were there things like that that you guys put on to help out your members, and what was the response like for those events?
So when we've reached out to our members, most of them said this was a time that they were really too busy to participate in something like that. It was, the focus needed to be on running the business. It's, a larger business. So what we kind of pivoted to doing this a lot of information through email. A lot of those were getting opened at 7:30 at night, after hours, after production has shut down, things like that. When production is going on, they don't have the time during the day to jump on a call like that and participate in something like that. So it's important to them to be managing that. And
Makes total sense, right? I mean, these companies, they get to a certain size, and when I was in high school, and going back a little ways here, but my high school football coach used to always say, he would tell us that we have to make sure that we're in the weight room and that we're eating, because we have to feed the monster. So when these businesses get to a certain size, they become a bit of a monster, and you have to feed that monster, right? So I guess slowing down to hear about how to handle the PPP keeps them from feeding the monster.
That's right. Yep.
I also think that it's interesting that you have shops, both small and large, taking advantage of resources that are being put out, but taking advantage of them on their own schedule, where everything kind of got turned upside down a few months ago, and everyone's schedule became not normal. Whether you're in the shop more, you're working from home, or you're in the shop less, but nothing was.
The new normal was that nothing was normal. right?
Yeah.
That's right. So I think that it's smart of the association to put information out there, Amy, that can be digested from your membership on their schedule instead of a strict association schedule.
Right. Yeah.
So, Amy, real quick before we let you go, can you tell us just a little bit more about the association and either your membership or what you guys offer as far as membership to maybe viewers that are watching this that are not familiar with you guys?
Sure. So as I said, we represent manufacturers in dimension and component. 90% of our members would say the biggest value that they get from the association is networking with other members. Some of our members do business to business with each other, which is a nice networking tool to have. Oh boy, when my shop is running at full capacity and I have that one customer that I can't get at right now, I can outsource that to one of our, a fellow member, and they can help me out, and vice versa. But yeah, so networking is probably the primary benefit that they receive, is having a go-to source for questions and answers. And these are real experts in the field that have been in the business a long time. And so we have different opportunities to network. We have a couple of conferences each year. We had planned a European tour in Italy in May. We were supposed to go. Obviously, that didn't happen. So we are planning on doing that again in 2021. We do a European tour every other year. And then we always have our fall conference, which is in a different state each year. And we visit different plants, and seeing plants, that's another thing that members love. They love walking through other plants and seeing
like
how.
Doing association member shop tours?
Yes.
Sure? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Great.
And even some of them are not even members. Sometimes we go into plants that are a different industry, but still manufacturing at a level where you can see equipment and machinery, processing, whatever it is. But they love doing that. They love seeing layouts, new equipment. Anytime they can see a plant and how it's operating, it's really helpful. Usually, they take away something that they can take home and implement relatively soon. So those are two big in-person events. Again, we have, we do a lot of, our website has a ton of information for, just help on every process in the manufacturing process. We've got a lot of information there. And I go to several trade shows and promote our members. We have a buyer's guide each year that, like this year, I'll be handing out at IWF. And that helps promote them. On our website as well, there's an opportunity if somebody's looking for, say, I want somebody that can make chair parts in a specific type of wood. There's a query that they can run, and it'll pull a list of all the members that have that capability, and they can reach out directly to them, which is a great source for, the buyers.
Great. Well, Amy, last but not least, if someone's watching this and interested in getting in touch with the association, how would they do so?
Yep, easiest way is to go to our website, which is just WCMA.com. You can also call our office at 651-332-6332.
Perfect. We'll make sure we link to your website in the description of this video as well.
Great.
Amy, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
All right.
Have a good day.
Andy, I thought that was a lot of good information that Amy shared, especially with the shop tours being such a great resource.
As I was saying, I actually attended one of those, and it was really, really interesting. That it was nice to see the technology, but the interaction of the people that were there, and then the conversation in the events later, the networking events, even the informal networking events where they were discussing the ideas that they had gotten from the day, and the tips that they had gotten, and the things that they were going to implement in their own manufacturing as a result. It was really good.
Yep, those associations are just invaluable when it comes to understanding other processes outside of. A lot of times these shops get into kind of a bubble. This is how we do things.
Right.
So it's great. These associations give views into other process flows, other efficiencies that they can pick up.
Yeah, and we've talked to a couple of associations now, but there are several of them in our industry, and they're all doing great things. They're creating this forum for our industry to get better, which is great. I think.
Absolutely. So here at WEINIG Holster USA, we are getting better, and we got a lot of cool stuff going on this week. Yesterday, if you guys missed it, it's in our video archives. Check it out. We did a video with again with Dan and Kevin at the 1329 Edge Bander. Great machine, and they even gave a teaser to Via Cockpit.
Very good. Digital business is becoming a larger and larger part of our industry.
Right.
And we're not missing it here at the WEINIG and Holster Group.
That's right. Via Cockpit is our WEINIG group machine monitoring system. It does actually a whole lot more than just monitoring your machines. It also plays a huge role in service. But check out the video. We give a little bit of a teaser about how Via Cockpit integrates into an Edge Bander, and we'll be coming out with more videos on Via Cockpit in the near future. Today we'll be having a live video on labeling options for parts coming off of nested base routers. Okay. This is a great thing that a lot of shops utilize. It saves a lot of time, but there's so many options out there on how to label it. Label it before it's cut, after it's cut, how to position your labels, what kind of labels to use, etc. Mike Cassell will be joining us and talking
Manual
about that.
versus automatic, all kinds of stuff.
That's exactly right. And then later on this week, we'll be back at the Cube Plus.
And that marketing guy's going to get his hands dirty.
I am going to run the machine again. They let me do that from time to time. And so we'll be talking about just S4S'ing lumber through the WEINIG Cube Plus. So a lot of cool stuff going on today. The showroom's already humming. We got some customers here doing some demos, so if it was a little loud today, our apologies, but we're up and running here.
We're going, man. The stock market's up, which means our 401ks are up, and we're excited about that.
All feeling a little bit happier.
We're all happy. We're feeling good. We're feeling optimistic, and our industry is coming back as well. And we're busy here in the showroom. We're doing a ton of demos. Right. We're doing more than we've ever done, and we're excited about that. And yeah, we look forward to not only coming out of this recovery, or as we recover, not only looking forward to that, but what's going to come after that. We're also super excited about that.
That's right. So if anyone of you guys if you have questions, comments for us, reach out to us, put it in the comments feed, get in touch with us. We'll be monitoring this video after it's posted. We'd love to host you guys here in Morrisville, North Carolina, to show you some of our machines here. Just let us know if you're interested in doing that. Other than that, we hope that you have a great week. See you next time.